Hi, and welcome to this week's Thursday Thoughts. I'm Sarah Hammerkert, and I'm glad you joined me. Today, let's talk about conversation. And basically, I like to have them without interruptions from children. Raise your hand if you're with me, right? I had a question from a mom who said, my elementary age, school age kids are driving me crazy with their constant interruptions. If I'm on the phone, they're asking me questions. If I'm talking to another adult, they tug at my sleeve and chatter away. I've tried talking to them about not interrupting, but it's gotten nowhere. And her question is one that I think we all struggle with, right? It's not just our toddlers and our preschoolers who interrupt. It's our teens. It's our tweens. It's our 7 to 9s. All our kids interrupt. Why do they interrupt? Because they think whatever they have to say is more important. But teaching kids to stay quiet when they're bursting with something to say, it can be challenging, but it also can be done. Here are my 5 things to do, pretty easy things, to help your children learn not to interrupt. First, take a look at your own example. Are you interrupting people? Do you just go up to your kids when they're talking to each other or to another classmate and interrupt? Now, if it's an emergency, fine. If you need, there are situations where it's okay, blood, guts, something broken. I want to know about it. You can interrupt me. But so many times we say, do what we say, not what we do. Set the example about not interrupting. Second, our kids need to have a plan for interruptions because they are going to need to tell us things and we're going to be talking. So what do they do? For our kids, we've trained them to come up and pause beside us until we acknowledge them. Sometimes when they were little, I'd hold up my finger and I'd say, I'd kind of hold it up behind me and I would be like, you need to wait. And that was a signal to say, you need to wait. And I wouldn't say it, that the finger up was a signal. That meant I saw them, and as soon as there was a break in my conversation, I would turn to the child and said, okay, did you need something? And then they would have a chance to tell me. Third is whole training sessions. We had to train our children to do this. This just doesn't happen magically overnight. We had to practice what happens when mommy or daddy's on the phone or talking to someone. And then you have to follow through. You have to not stop your conversation with them. You have to wait until there's a break before you acknowledge them. Now, you're going to have some success and you're going to have some colossal failures. But the more you retrain yourself, you're retraining your child as well. And fifth, do periodic checkups. Once kids get the hang of the rule, you'll have to revisit it from time to time. And it does just take patience and perseverance. Because remember that teaching new things like interruptions take time. And it takes energy, and things tend to get worse before they get better. That's just the nature of things. But don't be disheartened. Your children can learn how not to interrupt. Your family, your teachers, their friends, their neighbors and acquaintances will be very glad you took the time to do this, and so will you. I hope you join me next week for another Thursday Thought.